Well, autumn is officially here. Guess that makes this the perfect time to stroll through a cemetery.
I think any time of year is a good time for us to walk through a cemetery, right?
That's true. But what brings us to this particular boneyard in South Canaan, Connecticut?
Because Sand Hill Cemetery is ground zero for this week's story. It's both strange and troubling.
Well, you had me at strange and troubling.
So we've come to the Litchfield Hills of Connecticut to search for the South Canaan Maniac. Hey, I'm Jeff Belanger.
And I'm Ray Auger.
Welcome, legendarians. Thank you for joining us on our mission to chronicle all the wicked strangeness that is New England one story at a time. Whether ghosts, monsters, UFOs, roadside oddities, eccentrics, or they're just plain weird, our community is on it. Most of our story leads come from you, like this one. Thanks to our buddy Frank Grace for sending it in. If you got something strange you think we should check out, please write to us anytime through our website with your ideas. We love hearing from you. Our website is also the place to see dates for my story tour. I have dozens of shows in the Northeast coming up, and you can see dates to see Ray's band, the Pub Kings.
We'll go searching for the South Canaan Maniac right after a word from our sponsor. We are walking through the Sand Hill Cemetery in South Canaan.
We are.
The cemetery is pretty well hidden by a stone wall and a line of trees right next to Route 63.
Yeah, we almost drove right by the entrance.
Now, there's just over 300 graves here, so it's not very large, but we've certainly seen smaller burial grounds. The oldest grave I saw here dates back to 1761.
The good news is it should be pretty easy to find who we're looking for.
And who's that?
We're searching for the grave of Miles L. Blodgett.
All right, well, that name isn't familiar.
No, it wouldn't be. I mean, he died in 1873 at the young age of 15. I mean, the poor kid's life never really got started. But this grave is the epicenter of our story.
All right, while you're looking for the headstone, here's a little more background on where we are. Canaan is nestled in the Litchfield Hills of northwestern Connecticut. The town incorporated in 1739. In the early years, this was iron country. Back in the 18th century, the woods would have been stripped bare of trees to make charcoal to fire the blast furnaces. As the iron grew more difficult to find and mine in this region, the industry moved on to other parts of the country. The town of Canaan became a small and quiet town, which is just how folks like it around here. With a population of just over 1,000 people, Canaan is the second smallest town in Connecticut.
So what's the smallest?
Well, that would be Union, Connecticut. Population, 785.
It's like you knew I was going to ask.
Yes.
All right, so we're looking for a small town maniac.
Now, those are the best kind, right? Everyone remembers them.
I think you're right. I think I found the grave we're looking for.
Okay, well, it says Miles L. Blodgett. Was he the maniac?
No, but he's central to the story. To find the South Canaan Maniac, let's head back to the year 1878.
It's late September of 1878 here in Canaan, Connecticut. Rutherford B. Hayes is in the White House. Richard D. Hubbard is the governor of Connecticut. Out in the western United States, the Lincoln County War is making headlines. An inventor, Thomas Edison, recently patented his phonograph, but who knows if that'll take off.
I doubt it. Anyway, here in Canaan, the iron industry is still going strong, but there's some talk that the mines are eventually going to run out. But that day isn't today. People who depend on the mines for their livelihood can't think too much about tomorrow. Here in Canaan, life is chugging along.
Yep, people are living and working, raising their families and doing their best.
There is one family, though, that's struggling, and that would be the Blodgett family. They live in the Falls Village section of Canaan.
Right. Their boy Miles died 5 years ago.
Yeah.
The death notice in the newspaper said, quote, he died on his 15th birthday in the same house and room he first drew breath.
Oh, it's terrible. And if you check the epitaph on his headstone, look at the bottom line. It reads, quote, his last word was pray.
Ooh, I just got a chill.
Yeah, I get it. So the Blodgett family has seen some tragedy. Father Williams also had his own struggles. Over the past 10 years, he's been confined repeatedly to the Middletown Asylum in the central part of the state. He'll stay for a few months, he seems to improve, and then they send him home to Canaan. The death of his son didn't help his mental state any. Now, here at the Blodgett family home, William's been agitated lately. His family's concerned he's going to need to be committed to the Middletown Asylum again pretty soon.
It's the evening of Friday, September 27th. William has been pacing around his kitchen. He's shaking his head. He's mumbling something, but I can't make out what he's saying. Wait, William just stopped. He's got a strange look on his face.
Yeah, now he's heading to the back door. Okay, he's walking out to the shed behind his house. He just pulled out a shovel. And now he's heading toward the south side of town. Let's follow him.
He's walking into Sand Hill Cemetery. Oh, I don't like the looks of this. William is now digging up his son's grave in the dark. There's just enough moonlight to see, but that's about it.
Okay, he's dug down enough to expose the casket. He's opening up the casket.
No.
It's horrible.
There's not much left of Miles except a grinning skeleton. Where is William heading now?
I don't know. Well, let's follow him.
Well, he seems to be walking towards Thomas Bailey's farm just down the street. He's entering Bailey's dairy barn. What is he doing?
He's taking a bucket of milk. And now he's walking out of the barn back toward the cemetery.
All right, William's approaching his son's open grave. Oh, now he's rubbing the milk all over the remains. William has this far-off look in his eyes.
Hours pass as William pours little bits of milk from his bucket onto the skeletal remains of his son. It's morning when people visiting the cemetery notice William mumbling incoherently about resurrecting his son.
Well, folks in town know William has been troubled, so they handle him as gently as possible. But still, this is just ghastly. I mean, no one's ever seen anything like this.
After getting William back home, the cemetery staff returned to rebury Miles. William will be brought back to the Middletown Asylum in the hope that they can help him. Those who know the Blodgetts think maybe insanity is hereditary. And that brings us back to today. William Blodgett is also buried in this cemetery. He died in 1898 at the age of 79. And his wife, Mary A. Wright Blodgett, is also buried here. She died in 1920 at the age of 100.
What a strange story.
Yeah.
This isn't even close to our first dig up a body legend, but in most of those other stories, it was either ghouls snatching a corpse or a suspected vampire.
Right.
In this case, a distraught dad was trying to bring back his deceased son.
Most of what we know about this story comes from the October 4th, 1878 Hartford Courant newspaper coverage of the gruesome event. The headline reads, "A Maniac's Freak." The story made it to the wire service and was run in several newspapers around the country.
Now, fortunately, neither of us know what it's like to lose a child.
Yeah, right.
But I can't think of anything worse a person could go through.
Definitely. That's the worst event I could possibly imagine. And when you consider William Blodgett already had a history of mental illness, we can't completely fault him for what he did, ghastly as it was. It was the newspapers who dubbed him a maniac freak because that grabs the reader's attention.
On the surface, a person digging up a grave 5 years after burial in order to pour milk on it and try to resurrect the dead definitely sounds like a maniac to me.
Agreed, but when you dig a little...
dig, I get it.
All right. So when you dig a little deeper, you find there are human beings behind every legend. And that takes us to After the Legend, where we dig a little...
Oh, there it is again.
Okay, all right, we'll stop. We dig a little deeper into this week's story and sometimes veer off course.
After the Legend is brought to you by our Patreon patrons. They are the lifeblood of what we do. They're a group of legendarians who help us with all the costs it takes to bring you the show. From production to marketing, hosting, travel, and everything else, we deeply appreciate the help of our patrons. It's only $3 a month, and for that you get ad-free access to new episodes, access to the entire archive of shows, plus bonus episodes and content that no one else gets to hear. Just head over to patreon.com/New England Legends to sign up.
To see some pictures related to this week's story, click on the link in our episode description or go to our website and click on episode 415. Strange, right?
Yeah. Shame on the newspapers for calling him a maniac in the way they did. He was just who knows what we would do?
Right.
I don't know. But I can totally feel for him and understand.
Yeah, no, of course. This is a broken man who's, completely distraught. I do want to pick apart this newspaper article a little bit because the paper I discovered, this was a little bit of research that was pretty rough, got a lot of things wrong. So I'm going to read you the first line. "A strange freak of a maniac occurred in South Canaan last Friday night." this is where they get everything wrong. William Blodgett, son of Harvey Blodgett, and who had been deranged more or less for the past 10 years, has repeatedly been confined to Middletown Asylum, procured a shovel, and proceeded to the cemetery a short distance with the design of resurrecting his brother Milan.
Oh.
So there's all kinds of stuff wrong
Right,
here,
right.
right? So I was like, okay. So I went to the Find a Grave, which is an amazing resource, and I looked up Milan Blodgett. Found nothing.
Yep.
Then I found, I just got rid of Milan, and I just looked up Blodgett, and I found the right year, 5 years earlier, Miles. And I'm like, okay, someone got the name wrong, Miles Blodgett. And I'm like, his brother must have been William. And then I start looking. He didn't have a brother. Miles did not have a brother. He had a father named William Harvey Blodgett. And look at the first line, William Blodgett, son of Harvey Blodgett.
Yes.
So no, it was William Harvey Blodgett who was digging up his son.
Gotcha.
And so his mother and father are buried in the same graveyard. So this old newspaper account had a bunch of stuff wrong. Not his brother, it was his son, not Milan, Miles. And I sort of pieced it together, and then I found other accounts that's his death notice, Miles's, that said he died on his 15th birthday, in the same room, which
This is just shoddy reporting then.
It is, yeah, for sure. And so I could not find a cause of death.
Yep.
So I don't know what killed poor Miles at age 15 on his birthday. But his last word was pray. So I don't know. I couldn't find it. But
Sounds like he may have been sick and knew he was going out.
maybe
Just
could be.
pray for me or whatever.
Pray. So it was. It's still a tragic story, a gruesome story. To the fact that it got to the point where someone exhumed their child, and
He had a history of mental illness,
Yeah.
but that's enough to push somebody over the edge,
of course. But the mental illness allegedly started years before
Right.
his son died. So
This didn't help.
did not help at all. And then pouring milk, the idea of resurrecting.
Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't know where that got into his head. But
Because it wasn't just on his person. He had to go down to the barn,
Yeah.
his neighbor's barn, grab the milk. So where would he have heard that?
And again, the reporting we already know is wrong. So who knows about timelines?
Oh, right,
and stuff.
right.
So did he dig first, then say, I'm going to need something? I know, I'll go to Bailey's farm here and grab some milk. Or if milk was always the objective, you think he would have brought it with him? Calcium
is good for the bones,
right?
right?
But
But it's not calcium.
he needed more than bones.
Yeah.
He needed flesh and blood too. It's a tragic story of that. You just can't imagine. And mental illness is of course no joke. There, I was looking up more Blodgett family stuff. There was another Blodgett woman who committed suicide in the region. I can't tell you for sure they're related. Same last name, same region, same time period. So
Yeah.
could be a cousin or something like that.
Right.
She took her own life right before her wedding. And so, in the last article of the newspaper article said it's thought insanity is hereditary in the family. So I started looking up other Blodgetts and
Yeah.
so on. And,
You didn't subscribe to 21andMe or whatever that is? You didn't pay for a subscription so you could do some research? Come on.
well, was it Family Search, right? That's the,
Is that the one?
Ancestry.com.
Yes, that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that really starts to pick apart family trees and stuff like that.
That's a rabbit hole, too. Have you ever done it?
Yeah.
I've done it. I spent a whole Saturday, like 5 hours.
You can just go forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think at one point, if you get lost, if you take a misstep or something, then you're looking up family. Like, oh, I'm part of royalty.
Yeah.
No, you just made a mistake 3 generations ago.
No, he called himself a king.
He was crazy.
He was great. He was just a nut job. Just called himself,
Yeah.
king of the crazies. And then the Middletown Asylum, that's not that close to Canaan. Middletown is like south of Hartford, and Canaan is very northwestern Connecticut, up in the corner of Litchfield.
So why would he go there?
Yeah,
Like, especially by horseback. That's a trip.
that's
or
a trip.
Walking, yeah.
And Newtown, where I grew up, had an asylum that would have been closer.
I've been there.
Yeah, right. So
It's closed, right? But it's still there. Is that the one I went to? I think that's the one I went
the
to.
buildings have mostly been repurposed for the town.
But there's a section that's not.
Yeah, there's a couple buildings that are
It's
still
beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's a gorgeous campus on
And
a
then
hill.
there's like 2 dead buildings there.
Yep, and then one of them has been repurposed into the highest purpose a building could ever achieve, which is a brewery. So,
Yeah.
I mean, where do you go from there?
Right.
Nowhere.
It's what every building aspires to be.
Yeah, they're like,
eventually.
oh, I'm just a house, man. A medical office. Oh,
Yeah.
brewery. Ding, 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 ding.
They won.
Grand prize. Can't do better than this. So these asylums, obviously had a purpose, and there aren't anymore. There aren't asylums. There's mental health clinics and hospitals and things like that where people can stay for an extended period, but we just don't take care of the mentally ill the way we used to.
No, and look what happens.
And you're on your own.
Yeah,
is what happens. And so, I mean, in the 1980s, deinstitutionalization happened, where they were all sort of shut down, saying, everybody's cured. And I'm like, really? Like
at one time they were also drilling holes into people's heads.
That's true.
So they were questionable motives.
Listen, Ray, stop staring at the hole in my head. It's awkward enough. So yes, you're right. But the care of mental health came a long way. Once they closed down the institutions, the homeless population swelled and the prison population swelled.
Sure.
So there are people that need to be in an institution. One way to do it is just commit a crime.
Yeah.
You will be put into a prison institution. It's not ideal.
Right.
But it's an institution. Someone will care for you 24/7. You'll have a bed, you'll have meals, and you'll have a routine that never changes. And some people cannot exist except under that.
Right.
And so, we don't really take good care of our mentally ill anymore.
No, unfortunately.
No. And then, here we are. But, I don't know. There's a saying, but a society's judged by how you take care of the most vulnerable of your people, and we can always do a better job, I think.
Now, before we part ways today, please make sure to subscribe to our podcast, and please tell a friend or two about the show. That helps us grow. And the more legendarians we have, the more story leads we get, and the train just keeps on rolling.
We'd like to thank our sponsors and our Patreon patrons. Thank you for keeping us going. And our theme music is by John Judd.
Until next time, remember,
stay legendary.